Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for another video with top international executives. Today I have with me Anneliese Olsen. She's the Vice President and General Manager of HP's computing category. We're here in Macau for HP's launch of its printers and its laptops. Anneliese, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Alex. I'm very excited that you're here.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. So yesterday we're launching an incredible new printer range, which I'll be linking to a bit later on. People can find it in the text of this story. But today was all about the new HP philosophy called One Life and some really cool flagship products. So let's start with the One Life and what that means. Because we've all heard of Second Life, the game, but that's all artificial. This is about One Life, which is our lives. Right? So,
absolutely. So our customers are not fitting into boxes, right? And you know this, I know this. When we go from work to home, we're at home, we might have to do work. You're on a train, you're in a coffee shop. Your work doesn't happen, just from 9 to 5 anymore,
sure.
right?
Well, now that teleworking is no longer a 1970s old shock dream, and now it's an everyday reality, you work wherever there's a connection.
Absolutely, and being connected is actually really important to that. So when we look at One Life, we look at how we blend consumer and business and bring that together. If people can move interoperably in and out of that kind of ecosystem at any point in time, that's really where our vision is for this. And so there's 4 key pieces to how we look at that strategy. The first one actually is bringing design to the forefront. People are inspired by the devices they carry.
We live in a world where design is everything these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And millennials, it's very, very important as well, which is a big part of the decision-making segment now as well. And so having fit and finish, having nice materials, having colors, those things have become really important.
The beige boxes of old are the beige boxes of old.
Absolutely. And you'll see very different kinds of things that have continued to emerge, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Productivity is one of those pillars.
Everyone
no question.
wants more of it.
And always faster, best performance, best graphics, battery life. How long can I stay away from
compromises,
plugging, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's really important as well. Now, security is also a key aspect, and this is in our DNA and heart blood for what we do at HP, because you've got the protection of the device itself, you've got protection of the data that's on the device, and you have protection then of the identity of that user. How can you make sure that just when that user is on, they have access to their things, but especially if it's a shared workspace, someone else logs in, they can't have access.
I remember you used to say that HP was like hit print. Maybe it's now hacking protection.
Well, we have that with things like SureStart. Right?
That's the world's first BIOS that heals itself. Tell us quickly about that.
Yeah,
it's part of the security piece.
It is, yeah. SureStart is a self-healing BIOS where inside the product and the chip itself, it actually can recognize when a virus or a hack is coming in, and it can protect itself, turn itself down without IT or end user involvement, and reboot back up to the safe space of their BIOS, so they can literally protect themselves without any human interaction.
Yeah. And I've read about that the bad BIOS virus that was detected by a computer security consultant a couple of years ago, and he was trying to figure it all out. And I mean, it's a real threat, and that was already 2 or 3 years ago that this was happening to people.
Exactly. We brought in SureStart to the portfolio about 1.5 years ago, and now it's across our entire commercial lineup.
Well, I mean, it's in your printers, it's in your computers.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I don't think your competitors are doing yet. Yeah.
No.
And so what was the 4th piece after that?
The 4th piece is around entertainment, because this is also where One Life comes in. Obviously, security, productivity has been talked about in business, and entertainment in consumer, but we should have that kind of experience anytime.
All in the one,
bringing audio, bringing high def, great visuals, things like Bang & Olufsen throughout our line. You want to watch videos, you need to see content, you might have training, or you might watch a movie. That is part of that experience of One Life as well.
Sure. Now, just before we get onto the 2 new notebooks, you also had the new the phone, the X3 Elite, which was using Microsoft's Continuum. And so, I mean, this is the first major Windows Phone launch outside of Nokia and some others, which was part of Microsoft, that is really taking Continuum and running with it. And you've gone as far as even introducing a laptop, which tell us quickly about the laptop, because that's something that nobody else has.
Yes, basically what the Elite X3 combined with the laptop gives an experience almost like a full compute experience and an additional display, but that's super thin and light, 15-hour battery life, and it really then gives you that full experience if somebody needs to work for a long time on a keyboard. But the combination of an Elite X3 plus the lap dock is still less than buying a smartphone and a notebook.
Sure. I mean, people have tried it for years. Motorola tried it with their Atrix, and there was people trying it in the past, but it was never quite mature enough. And clearly we seem to be at stage now where you can have a low cost. I mean, even Palm had a thing called a Folio they tried a long time ago, but that was just the technology wasn't ready. And with Continuum, you need to have the dock, and you've got to plug into a keyboard and a mouse. But this lap dock is basically the keyboard, mouse, and tracking pad that you take with you. And as you say, the benefit is it's cheaper than buying two separate devices. So
yeah, absolutely. And the power, the other big thing that's changed is the power with mobile system on a chip. You can have the power of a PC in a very, very small form
and it's
factor.
really only now that this is. People tried it before, but it just wasn't ready yet. But here we are. When is this coming onto the market? Is it available now in some countries, or is it rolling out this year, the lap dock and the Elite X3?
So in Australia, we'll have availability in September, and we have partnerships already with Telstra as well.
Excellent, excellent. So then there's the two other flagships. I know we're running short on time, but you've got the world's thinnest laptop, the Spectre, which always makes me think of James Bond villains. Bad guys, very cool bad guys. And the Elite Book Folio. Which is your also an ultra-thin device. So tell us about the Spectre and the challenges in creating that, and how it's a design piece.
Sure.
Incredibly.
Well, we took on the challenge of millennials and design and wanted to really start reinventing the thought of what does a high-end luxury notebook look like? How can you bring the best of both worlds together? And we gave this assignment to our vice president of design, who is a great inspiration, and said, how can we do this better? And how can we not have any compromises? People want thin and light. People want batteries to last all day long. They don't want to plug in again.
And they don't necessarily want to use a Core M processor. They want a Core I processor.
Exactly. And that's one of the key differences. We split the battery in half to keep it very, very thin, and all the engineering performance to have Core I in that thin package. Plus, it just looks really great. It's kind of inspired like jewelry.
I recorded the video before, so people can watch that. It's quite incredible. And you have these little piston hinges as well.
The innovation around the piston hinge is also how we were able to get it thinner and lighter. It's almost as though the display floats and is able to just tuck itself away when you're flat or in your bag. Yeah,
looked insane. I mean, I'm going to have a closer look. But you also have a business, and that's 10.4 millimeters thin, which is the same thickness as a AAA battery, but your business model is called the Elite Book Folio, which is a little bit thicker, 12.4 millimeters, just has like a AA battery. But that one, the screen can fold all the way back. It's full HD or even quad HD. I mean, tell us quickly about that one, and then I know you have to go.
Yeah, the HP Folio is our kind of creme de la creme for the mobile, warrior, the workforce, folks like you and I who are out and about working all the time. And one of the innovations about why we folded 180-degree flat was to have a full audio experience and be able to be in any public place, an iCafe, a coffee shop, an airport lounge.
Or huddled around a desk.
Have people working and collaborating together. We have noise-canceling software that actually cleans out the rest of the noise so people can be productive and work in a package that's less than 1 kg, full performance processing, and will last you up to 10 hours a day.
And with the noise cancelling, if you have a pair of the microphone headset on, does that still work through that microphone?
Absolutely. Yes,
so it's not just the microphones that are in there, because
Correct.
sometimes in a like an airport, for example, it might be great that you can hear, but you might not want everyone else to hear.
Correct.
Well.
So if you're on speakerphone or on a headset, it works the same way.
Sure. Well, look, it was fascinating to see the new innovation. I always love to see how companies are pushing the edge, and we still don't have chips implanted in our brains yet, and I hope that doesn't happen for quite some time. But until then,
I'll let you know when it happens.
But until then, it's great to see the innovation, and I look forward to playing with them in person a bit later on. Anneliese, thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.